Yay, Xfinity. We pay for the best internet, and you don't hook us up.
Let's see. Okay. We're back in a new stream, but it's going to have a different link.
Okay. Well, we just need to send that to you.
I'm going to text Katie.
And your mom?
My mom's not on it.
No, but she might get home. Right?
Oh, yeah. So far, so good with the new stream. Let's see.
I'm just going to do a couple of stars.
Uh-huh.
And then that way you can get into astrology. Because I want you to get into astrology.
Sounds good. Alright, let me go into our YouTube. Oh, okay, Katie found us. Alright, cool. Alright, yes. Yay! I don't know.
Did you give her the...
No, she knows how to work YouTube in order to find us.
But your mom doesn't.
Yeah, so Katie, you might have to share this link with Mom in case she hops on for the hangover.
Alright,
cool. Well, we'll see if it maintains itself or becomes a poop. If it drops out again, we'll probably just stop the stream and then we'll finish recording the episode. Weirdly with ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
All right, so you went back to her subscriptions, but
and it was there.
You will need to share it with your mom.
Okay.
All right, so just
about?
a few more. We're gonna move on to stars now.
Stars.
Yeah, just a few. One is that all stars explode. They all go boom.
Go boom. I wish they all went boom.
They don't. It's only the big ones.
Only the real big ones.
Only the ones that are much bigger than our sun will go boom. Mm-hmm. Our sun will just kind of float like off its outer atmosphere. Yeah, pretty much. It's like Jack peeing on our walks, where it's just
silent, slow farts that just kind of drift out.
Wow, we devolved.
Future of our sun, everyone. A slow, silent fart.
Yeah. Going right along with that, stars don't live forever.
They don't. They
do appear eternal. In fact, we see the same stars that those Egyptians saw that we were talking about. But they don't live forever. Our sun lives for about drift out. What was it, like 10 billion years, 12 billion,
yeah, 10 billion years is about halfway through its life right now.
Yeah.
I mean, this is because of fuel. I mean, they're powered by an energy source, by fuel, basically, and eventually they're going to burn it all up.
Yeah. So they don't live forever. Massive stars live for a very short amount of time.
Just like how SUVs run out of gas quicker.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and the smaller stars, which are like Priuses, they can go on for a very long time.
A lot longer, not forever.
And stars don't fall when you're looking up at the night sky.
No, those aren't stars.
Yeah, so you see those nice little streaks of light that just blaze across. Then we call them shooting stars, but they aren't stars at all. They're little grains of basically leftover comet dust.
Yeah,
in a lot of cases.
Sometimes, most cases, Sometimes it can be like from a meteor. Or I'm sorry, an asteroid.
It could also be space junk.
It's true.
Little flecks of paint or something.
Coming in. Through. Yeah, so it's not, and it's a good thing it's not stars, because we'd be dead.
Yeah, I know, right? And then finally, Polaris is not the brightest star in the sky.
Oh, but it tells you where north is. It's gotta be the brightest. It's gotta be the most easiest one to spot to guide our way home.
Yes, no, it is. It is special because of its location.
Yes.
Which is really close to the
North Celestial Pole.
Right, and so our pole, the Earth's pole, is basically pointing to it. It's
you like down with NCP?
It's a degree off. Yeah. That actually deserves a drink. He's down with NCT.
Oh, yay, drink! Oh.
We don't ever do that, do we? Dink?
We don't.
Okay,
It's
all
because
right.
we just recorded the shots episode yesterday that now I'm accustomed to
Dink.
toasting.
And finally, we come to what we've all waited for. Astrology is fucking real. Liz, I yield the floor to you.
Oh my gosh. Wow, I didn't realize actually this much pressure was going to be on me, but there is no possible way that the position of the planets, the sun, and the stars in the sky have anything to do with your personal life.
No.
These are
No.
inanimate objects that are just operating on the mechanics of physics. Stop. just stop. The reason that, I don't know, Mercury is in Taurus is because all of the zodiac constellations fall along what's known as the ecliptic, which is the plane of our solar system that is projected on the sky that we
Pretty much, yeah.
that we use. That's the plane of the solar system. And so it just happens that because the planets are also in the plane of the solar system, the moon as well, Pluto, although off it a bit, but has a little bit of a higher, more tilt off of it. But they basically go along the same path throughout the sky, and through that path there are constellations that we see up there as well. And so throughout time, early people that observed and used the motions of the stars and the planets on the sky to help understand the world around them, to tell time, and basically was used to support their livelihood, because it can help track seasons and when to plant crops and when to do all that good stuff. And so these constellations that they would use to help track time using the moon and the sun and the planets, and so these constellations that these objects traveled through then began to incorporate more special meaning and serve more purpose, and so and become associated with more of a mythological ideology, and so you get astrology that kind of is trying to turn like the myths into science, but there's no basis, there's no backing there.
And I give
Get out of here, Katie. Get out of here.
I give the early astrologers credit for trying to.
They were trying to make it like fit in a scientific way with these zodiac signs and everything.
But we quickly moved out of that. And also, you say it's Gemini season now.
But that's only now. It wouldn't have been.
Yeah, it is. They're off by a constellation now, right?
They're off by a constellation. So,
because the Earth wobbles.
Yeah, as the stars aren't always. Well, their lives are much longer than our entire civilization. We see the same stars. They haven't always been in the same location in the sky because the Earth wobbles as it rotates, kind of like a top that's winding down, and it starts to wobble around. And so one complete wobble is like 26,000 years. Yeah, so over a period of a few thousand years, that effect becomes noticeable in the sky. So, for example, I was born in September. I'm apparently a Virgo. I'm
a Cancer.
Meaning I'm like a perfectionist and I like things clean, and only half of that is kind of true. God damn it, Katie, get out of here.
You have to say what she said.
She said a Virgo would make that argument. True to form. But if I was born, in ancient Egypt, I wouldn't have necessarily been born a Virgo, so to speak.
You wouldn't
it would have been like a Leo or something like that.
You wouldn't have. Yeah, and because the Earth wobbles, the North Star for the Egyptians
Was
was
not
like
Polaris.
Thuban. It wasn't even
It wasn't
Polaris.
really a visible.
Oh, Thuban is.
Oh, Thuban is.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Thuban's in the Little Dipper, right?
no, I think it's in Draco.
Oh, Thuban's in Draco. Yeah, what am I thinking? But in 12,000 years from now, Vega,
Yep.
that will be the closest star
And that's
to
a
the North
bright-ass
Celestial
star.
Pole, and that will be a very bright star. But it will actually be far enough away from the North Celestial Pole that through the evening you'll see it.
Oh, you'll see it.
You'll see it do a little circle in the sky.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Right? And Vega is in the constellation of Lyra.
Like I say, Vegas.
Vegas, baby.
Something to look forward to. I can't wait
In
to see
12,000
that.
years.
Yeah, I can't wait to see
I
it.
know. Oh, another thing to note about the zodiac signs. There's not only 12.
No, there's 13.
There's 13. The
Ophiuchus.
13th one is Ophiuchus, but really, who wants to be an Ophiuchus? What are you, man?
Well, he's
I'm
a
an
snake charmer.
Ophiuchus.
Isn't he a snake charmer?
He is the snake charmer.
And isn't he the dude like that did medicine and shit?
Yes, he's actually the he is the Roman version of the Greek healer Asclepius. And Asclepius is like what you see with the snake and the staff for medicine. That's like that's him basically. But this constellation of Ophiuchus counts as a zodiac constellation because part of the constellation is in the ecliptic. So the sun, the moon, the planets will travel through Ophiuchus basically in between on its journey from Scorpius into Sagittarius.
Right.
It goes through Ophiuchus's leg.
Yeah, I think that the next time something is in Ophiuchus, we call up like a astrologer.
Oh
and go,
God, Mars is in Ophiuchus!
what the fuck?
What's happening?
What does this mean?
That happened when Trump was elected.
It just Mars just stopped in the sky and just hung out. And
Yeah. Oh, where's Mars? What zodiac's Mars in? Ophiuchus. What is that demonic bullshit?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, case in point. Oh, and we didn't mention retrograde motion. Now,
oh yeah.
okay,
but-
so retrograde motion is something that I get really confused about. I can't remember how it works, and I always have a misconception that like Mercury and Venus don't go into retrograde motion, but
because
they
it's
do.
Because it's inside the orbit of the Earth.
It's inside the orbit of the Earth, yes, but they do retrograde motion. They just don't do it in the same way that the outer planets do it.
Yeah.
And basically what this retrograde motion is, which has nothing to do with how the month is going for you. Oh God, Mercury's in retrograde right now, and I'm really feeling it.
That's actually real.
Basically,
caveat though, let's just tell them this. That the planets are always moving in the same direction around the sun.
I'm gonna explain it.
I thought you were just going to.
No. So, yes, the planets orbit the sun counterclockwise because that's the direction our solar nebula, or the nebula that formed our solar system, was spinning as everything kind of condensed down into what we know of as today. So they're all going in the same direction, but we have a perspective from the planet Earth. And so when we're looking at the planets in the sky, we see their motion, their orbits, their orbital motion around the sun, but based on where the planet is in its solar system, they're either orbiting the sun in less amount of time than us, or more amount of time than us if they're farther away.
So the outer planets out take longer, yeah.
Yes.
So they're moving slower than we are.
So we're all moving at the same speed. So imagine.
No, we're not moving the same speed.
I'm not the same speed, but in the same
direction.
The same direction.
Yeah.
But say like, then my analogy might be bad. But say you're driving on the freeway.
No, you're gonna be spot on.
Okay, so you're driving on the freeway, all right, and a car passes by you.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you almost feel sometimes like you are moving backwards.
Right.
To that car that is going past you. And so when we're looking at the orbits of the planets in the sky, sometimes we see them move backwards in the sky, or some of the outer planets will make kind of a loop-de-loop in the sky and move backwards, but they're not really moving backwards.
No,
it's just our positioning and our perspective and who's moving past who in their orbits.
Right. So the Earth is moving faster than Mars.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to change your...
Oh, yeah. We're going, hi, Mars, goodbye.
So I'm just going to change... Liz's analogy was spot on. The Earth is moving faster, so we're in the fast car. I have the
knowledge. I don't know how to verbalize it.
I know you do. I know you have the knowledge, and you verbalized it. So I'm going to put us in the fast car.
Oh, that's more appropriate.
And so we're in the fast car, and Mars is the slow car, and it just appears that Mars is moving backwards. By the way, theory of relativity, special theory of relativity, Einstein basically uses this with trains to prove a point for relativity.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, so we're on the faster track, and so we're looking at Mars and we're going in the same direction, but then we kind of catch up to it.
Yeah, we're like, race you for your pink slips, Mars.
It looks like it goes backwards and does this little loopy-loop. So I think the reason why you think that you have a hard time thinking about Mercury and Venus is because when we talk about retrograde motion, it's always in relation to the outer planets, Mars out to Neptune.
And us passing them by. Yeah. And then it's just a different.
Yeah. And
it's a different side
Yeah, we never ever talk about it with regards to Mercury and Venus, or I should say that we rarely do.
Yeah.
And basically, so Mercury and Venus are on the inside track, and they're following the sun. And they will move away from the sun, but at some point in their orbit...
They come back around.
Yeah.
And then that's when we see them...
See them go backwards.
Yeah.
In our sky.
Yeah, from our perspective. So...
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one thing that I've had. But retrograde motion it's... No. Stop.
Yeah, it means nothing. And from a physics point of view...
It means a lot.
Well, yeah. But from a physics point of view for astrology is that if you say astrology is real and you say that the planets are impacting our lives, then that means that Jupiter, we'll say, or no, let's say Mars, is constantly streaming out subatomic particles that interact with us. So if you're an astrologer, you have to prove that. You have to prove what the particles are and how they interact with us. And they can't do it because it's all bullshit. It's a nice little tiny column in a newspaper, which used to be a physical thing.
I'll give you, it's fun to read.
Yeah, but it's also so vaguely written.
Also, don't look at which one you're reading and just assume it's all for whatever your sign is and read it.
Yeah, they
You're
all
gonna
apply to you.
relate to all of it because it's so generic and vague that your brain goes, okay, I'm gonna cherry pick what works for me and what I want to hear. And
you can look at any of these and go, okay, all right, yeah. You know, like it'll say, oh, you're gonna come into money. You might, I don't know, get 10 cents off.
And then if you
of something.
see a dime on this floor, you're like,
hey, I got me some money.
Validation.
I came into some money.
But,
I can buy a house.
Whatever makes you happy. You can believe what you want to believe. Just,
Yeah, it's like religion. Whatever you choose to get you through the day. But the truth of the matter is that astrology does not impact you. And Jupiter doesn't give a fuck about you.
No, because it doesn't have a brain. It's a planet.
It's a
made
planet.
of gases and with some rocky core, and it would kill you instantly if you tried to say hello up close and personal. It really does not. Yeah. It's not friendly. None of the planets are friendly. None of the planets are hospitable.
They're beautiful.
They're gorgeous. Oh my god. But deadly.
Juno, the Juno spacecraft at Jupiter.
Just artwork.
It is
oil paintings.
Incredible artwork. It really is. In fact, so Juno is a spacecraft at Jupiter right now, and it takes these amazing pictures of the atmosphere of Jupiter. And in fact, NASA is freely, I mean, they do it anyway, but they freely disseminate the.
Well, they have to because we pay
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, so
Tax dollars.
your tax dollars pay for it.
We
So
get NASA pictures for free.
so you get the NASA pictures for free.
Good deal.
Interestingly enough, it's free for the world and not just the U.S.
Okay,
but-
well, whatever.
Okay, no, I personally believe that it should be free for the world.
Oh no, I believe that
Yeah.
too.
Oh
I'm
no,
just-
no, I know you
yeah,
do. I know you do.
okay.
But NASA it gives out the imagery, but they also they tell you to if you download some imagery, like the raw imagery, to make it
Colorize
artistic.
Yeah, you can
And-
download the raw imagery and you can colorize it and you can really just
Yeah.
kind of go wild with it.
Yeah. So, but it is just incredible artwork.
I think we're heading into like hangover territory with this.
Yeah. So, so that's the end of our episode. We've looked at some of the misconceptions. When we come back for the hangover, see, you thought I was going to say hangout. When we come back for the hangover, I'll tell you about my drink, which is hummingbird have no feet.
Oh my god, I forgot about your drink name.
I knew that it wasn't going to show up in the first part.
Okay, all right. Well,
Anyway, we'll be back in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we don't know what the topic will be, but it will be the start of Pride Month. So maybe we go in that direction somehow.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
Find
know.
out.
We'll figure it out.
We like to leave it a mystery.
What?
We like to leave it a mystery until the very last moment.
Because that's when we figure it
Yes.
out.
All
We
right.
figure it out like the Saturday before.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. And if you're hanging over with us on YouTube, stick around because we will be right back.
Right back. everybody. Welcome back. We have to wait. Liz was eating a cookie.
I started it, and I was like, oh no, I'm still eating my cookie.
Oh, man, we still have the chat from the previous.
Oh, I need to... I forgot I gotta switch it over in OBS. Okay. Man, what an episode. What just a technological nightmare of an episode we've created this time around. But only for the YouTube section of it, luckily.
But you know the thing, of all the episodes we've done, this is the first time when we really had an issue, right?
I think so. At least for when we started, like, using this stuff. Hey!
Yeah. And I think that
there we go.
we handled it really well. You know?
And that's from years of training in the planetarium when the planetarium would break, and just the bullshit that you have to start spewing out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Pretending you're flying a spaceship, you know, to distract from the issue. Like Grand Tour.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it would be when we land on the moon. One of the screens, one of the, as it's known in the biz, GPs, would go out, and you would get on a quarter of the dome, a little section of the dome, an eighth of the dome.
Yeah.
This little, you know,
no stars.
error box, and you go, oh, we crash landed too hard, everybody. I gotta go up, and I gotta, reboot that side of the view screen.
Right, but what's amazing is that you're able to do it. I mean, you would keep going.
Yeah. And then you try to be like, does anyone have any questions?
Mm-hmm.
Try to answer some questions, or then starts just spewing random facts to distract while you're just frantically just waiting for things to reboot and just doing all this stuff.
I was waiting for you to hit the mic. I was. All right. Anyway, so if you were with us in the first half, in the actual
or
podcast,
if you listened to the episode on myths and misconceptions, man, that's a rough one.
Yes. Then, oh God, I don't know what I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
What was I going to say? If you were with us,
then you know your drink was.
No, it wasn't that.
Oh, I thought you were
but
gonna go
anyway,
straight
all
into
right.
that.
So I guess. Oh, all right. So we talked about misconceptions.
Yes.
And maybe, hey, where do these misconceptions come from? So I thought I had to think about this. I actually had to think about it because I gave an Adults Night Out talk on misconceptions.
Oh.
And so this is where I can talk about hummingbird have no feet.
Okay.
So I think that a lot of misconceptions come from the fact that somebody will tell us something. Mm-hmm. A person of authority, your parents, a teacher, somebody like that. Mm-hmm. And because we see this person as knowledgeable.
Unfortunately for a lot of people, that's Tucker Carlson.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I know, right? We believe it. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we mishear something.
Yes.
And it maybe came from a person of a quote-unquote authority, and so we believe it. And so for me, my mom is a teacher. She was a teacher. She was a teacher in biology. And she was my teacher for 3 years, believe it or not. I could not wait to get to my senior year in high school and not have her. Love you, Mom. But that was hard.
I always thought that would be so awkward to have your parent as a teacher.
It was very awkward. It was very hard. But there was some time where what I heard was hummingbird have no feet. And I just bought into it. My mom said it. She's a teacher. This isn't a political statement. It's got to be right.
How do they land?
I didn't even think about that.
They just fly continuously.
I did not think about that.
Okay, during the break, I went, what if hummingbirds didn't have any feet? And then he basically said they would have to fly forever. And I was like, God, that was such a stupid question. What was I doing? Of course, what else are they going to do?
Yeah, but...
Use their soft bodies as a more adorable situation, they instead of having feet, they just kind of like collapse into like a little hummingbird puddle with their little soft bodies. They just kind of like slinky down, and then they can use their strong wings and they fly away again.
Stop their
they
wings,
just kind of
yeah.
like, well, watch out for that hummingbird puddle.
So, and my ears don't work very well.
Okay, but you were a child, yeah?
Yeah,
so
but
they worked a lot better then.
No, but see, I had hearing damage from early on. And I think...
You went to all those rock concerts?
And this was around high school that I thought my mom said this. So, so my ears don't work very well, and I don't hear every sound. Mm-hmm. So my brain fills in the gaps. And okay, this is how it was explained to me. My brain fills in the gaps, and this is why I will hear things that are completely different from what is actually said. Mm-hmm. On occasion, right? I mean, 90% of the time
I think that we all have this, you know,
right.
when we don't quite hear something and then we are, you know, we mishear. We just kind of, not to the extent I'm saying, maybe, you know, but just we have situations where we are like, wait, you didn't say that.
So, I'm not sure what my mom said, but...
Let's see, what sounds like hummingbirds have no feet? Hummingbirds can't pee.
Oh, yeah, it's probably what it was. I can't peep. And so I didn't hear it right or correctly and put that on the fact that, and, you know, also I was a teenager, so I was probably only listening to every other word anyway.
Yeah.
So.
There was a dual listening issue.
Plus, it was my mom. And so, which is why I was only listening to every other word. Uh-huh. But, and for the longest time, I believed that hummingbird had no feet. So what I did was, for my Adults Night Out talk, it was...
Oh, wow. There you go.
It was misconceptions in astronomy. Uh-huh. And then the subtitle was Hummingbird Have No Feet, and my background picture was a hummingbird with feet highlighted. Uh-huh. And so they do have feet, but I think that it's just who says it and how we hear it.
What movie is it where it said that dogs can't look up?
What? Is it dogs or turkeys?
No, dogs.
Oh yeah, it is. Somebody did say that, right?
I don't know if that's like a Jay and Silent Bob movie or I don't know.
Yes.
Is it?
It is. Yes. Is that
is
or
it
like
Is it Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
It might
I don't know. Anyway, so there's a movie line.
Shaun
of the Dead.
It's
Shaun of the Dead. It's Shaun of the Dead. It's Shaun of the Dead.
We need to bring Jack in here.
Oh God. So and every time
I can see it now.
Every time, and especially the first time I saw Shaun of the Dead, it was like, dogs can't look up. Wait a minute. And then I would go observe dogs and see. And as soon as one looked up, I was like, oh, of course dogs can look up. But it was like one of those things that was like, wait, can they? Is that real?
and then it is true until you see the dog look up.
And then you're like, oh God, I'm an idiot. Of course they can look up. Why wouldn't they be able to look up?
And then, but then it's also like, you know, turkeys are so dumb they'll drown in the rain. But there's turkeys in the wild.
Yeah.
They experience rain.
Where I grew up, there was turkeys. You can hear the turkeys. They gobble everywhere.
Yeah. And, you know, another misconception. Goats are nice.
Oh, my gosh. Don't let your biases are different than misconceptions.
True. Very, very true.
Also, I just want to give major props to Adam for being spot right there with Shaun of the Dead from just the simple, what movie says dogs don't look up? Shaun of the Dead. Got it.
But I'm sure that this is not the only movie that...
Oh.
But...
You know what I'm confusing? I also and this isn't a misconception that the movie gave me, but maybe I was also, I don't know why Jay and Silent Bob came in, but, God damn it! What's the fucking? Now I can't even remember the movie, but it's never mind, I don't want to say it now.
You know, you cut me off, and there's no resolution to that.
Okay, the line from the movie is, disco blows dogs for quarters. And I had it. I had the movie right here. And it's Detroit Rock City. Detroit Rock City.
There you go.
Detroit Rock City is what
There
it
you
is.
go.
Yeah. Oh,
can't remember
God.
what I was saying.
But Adam's watched it probably as many times as we've watched it.
Yeah, we might
should
have
have
to watch
known
it
that.
tonight. I love that movie. I
So
really
good. Oh,
love that
God.
movie.
Simon Pegg
But-
and Nick Frost are just
Brilliant. They're fucking brilliant.
I love them so much.
God, what was I going to say? But
Anyway.
also props to, I'm sure that, like, this is not the only movie in which something like that was
yeah,
said.
that's what I'm saying. Like in movies, you know, just popular media, you hear something.
No. What I'm saying is that propagated the myth that dogs can't look up. I'm sure because it seems like it is so Jay and Silent Bob, but which is another movie we would watch. But Adam was on it because he's seen it, but he was able to say, "Hey, that's a movie that Mike and Liz would have watched, so this is what they're going for," and gave us the answer based on that.
I think he just knew it. I don't think he.
Let me have my
okay,
moment.
all right. I'll let
Jeez.
you think real.
You don't let me have my moment.
You have it.
You don't let me have my moment.
I gave it. Okay. Anyway, so hummingbirds do have feet.
They have feet. You know,
dogs
this is
can look
all
up.
over. This is all over. So, what is the...
Okay, but you started this. You started this whole this thing that we're
Right.
doing now with your ruminations on why we have these misconceptions in astronomy. And I just want to touch on just for astronomy specific and some of the stuff that we talked about. I'm glad we can give you a chuckle. Some of the stuff we talked about in the main episode, which you can find on YouTube or listen on Spotify or whatever.
Wherever you
get your podcast, Cosmos. Is that a lot of those things I think just have carried through history. Like, you know, you got ancient humans that are like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I must do this. And then that slowly gets filtered down, but then also more observations kind of change it a little bit, you know, but then there are some things that just kind of stick there into
Right,
those
right.
who don't have more of a specific education towards, you know, say like the moon not having gravity, you know, it's easy to see how some, you know, anybody
Right.
who isn't really like into astronomy or really only took Earth science and Earth and space science in high school and doesn't really think much about stuff, you can really think how that could be true.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I think that just through the ages, a lot of these misconceptions kind of just pinprick their way into our conscious minds, subconscious minds.
Yeah, I think it is. I think for one thing that people don't want is for anything to counteract their interpretation of the world and how the universe operates, and so I think people that believe in astrology. I'm not saying. We've already had drinks. This is not.
Think about your words.
I don't think that people who believe in astrology are stupid. I don't.
No.
I don't think that at
and
all.
Was I implying that with what
no,
I
no,
said?
no, no,
Okay,
no,
'cause
no, no,
that's
no,
not-
no. I really need to say that. I just think that they see, and to their credit, that the universe is bigger than themselves, and that the universe is bigger than the block that they live on, the state that they live on, and the country that they live on. And that we're all connected, and we are all connected.
Yeah.
But we're not connected to the point where planets are influencing when you are like the psychological disposition that you're going to have.
Maybe we should do more planet offerings. Let's get some temples of Mercury. Let's get some temples of Jupes up there.
But
you
that
know?
but
Give
that
some
plays
fruits.
into the stereotype. That
I
plays.
know. I'm just saying. At this
Yeah.
point, I don't know. No one's listening to science anyway. So maybe
That's
if we
true.
go one way with it, something will work,
Yeah,
and we won't all just die from our ignorance.
I do think
and-
that 5,000 years ago, when we didn't understand, 5,000 years ago, it's easy, I think, for us to say, okay, 5,000 years ago, that wasn't long ago, then they certainly have had to have understand how lightning works.
It's so
They
long
didn't.
ago. It's so long ago,
It
though.
is so long ago in knowledge and understanding of the universe. If somebody, okay, so, oh God, what was that show with the hole? With the hole in it?
Oh, Outer Range on Amazon.
Outer Range. Outer Range. And so, I don't want to give it away, but I'm going to give it away.
No, don't give it away. But just, it's a weird show, and there's some stuff that can't be explained.
Yeah, and, if you had somebody that, and I thought about this, if you had, I was thinking about it with regards to that show. So there's playing time with the show, and if you had somebody from the 1800s, 1700s that came to today, when they were like 9 years old, I think that their brain would melt down.
They would not be able to handle.
They would not be able to understand it. However,
that might be a catatonic.
What?
Result in like a catatonic state.
Oh yeah, I think they would shut down. They would not be able to understand. There would just be so much.
Yeah.
Too much too quick for them.
Yeah.
And like the whole thing about like Mark Twain wrote the Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're going backwards in time. You can do that, but if but somebody back in King Arthur's Court seeing you come up,
witch, it's a witch.
Yeah, you would be.
It's a witch.
You'd be burned.
It's the devil.
Pretty much.
Oh, Mom's here.
Hey.
Hi, Mom. Hope you had a good drive.
I don't think that you can go, if you went from 5,000 years ago to today.
Oh, you would.
You would curl up in a ball.
What?
I mean, there's no way you would be able to handle that.
What? And then if you're Egyptian and you go to D.C., you're like, motherfucker stole our shit. What? Why?
Washington Monument,
yeah.
But but 5,000 years ago, I think that like astrology played its part.
Oh, it played a huge role in.
It was useful. It was. I hate to say this because this is a modern view, and bias in me. But astrology was the start of science and astronomy.
Oh yeah, I mean all of the kind of that early stuff is important because that's how it just shows our brains beginning to process and use our surroundings to understand things, and then as we've developed, we've been able to refine that through the advancement of technology, and we develop new ways to get the information. To learn more.
Right. And so, astrology is the beginning of astronomy. It's the beginning of science, trying to understand how the larger universe works and how it impacts us. The problem is that we soon realize that it doesn't impact us in any kind of way. And God, I hate saying this because I don't think people that believe in astrology are stupid. They're just uneducated in how they're ignorant to how the universe works. I don't know if that's a good way of saying it.
I think also though it's a lot, and this is astrology's case and not necessarily a like religion case, but in an astrology viewpoint way, I think it's like you get the science maybe, and you understand the science, and there's science there, but you're kind of looking at it in a way of that whole there's more to it, and you are choosing to process the universe in a way that makes you feel more one with it. And so maybe it's like kind of like when I give a coworker a hard time whenever, and she knows I hate it when she brings up like Mercury's in retrograde and the stuff. She's
crystals,
and I love her and crystal, and her and going to like a medium and all that stuff, and I love her. She's an amazing human being, and she knows that. I've given her a lecture on blah 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 blah, and so it's like she knows, and she's like, whatever, yeah, sure, okay, that's the science bit of it, but I'm talking more, and this is more than that, and this is what I want to kind of hold on to, and be a part of.
They want to feel connected, And I understand that. I I want I want to be connected.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to be connected with a person like in real life, like right there with me. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But I do think that everything is connected. It's just not the way in which your coworker or
Mm-hmm.
the all these people who believe in
Mm-hmm.
astrology want it to work.
Mm-hmm.
And we are connected in that if we kill off the coral reef,
Uh,
that has implications
mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
everything else.
Yeah.
If we
Well, like we all know, it's because Mercury, get the fuck out of retrograde, man. You're
But it has
fucking
nothing
up
to
the
do,
corals.
has nothing to do with Mercury.
No.
And what do astrologers do when we discover a new planet? What do they do with Uranus and Neptune?
Oh, well, they just made up new symbols.
Yeah, but then you have to make up other shit.
Well, it's all made up anyway, so it's easy
it
coming
is.
up with the material. They got it down to a science.
Right. So if
Easy to
how do the smart people not? Okay. So here's the thing. I think.
Wait, I lost track of your rant a little bit on astrology. What are you?
I don't even know anymore.
Okay.
All right. So I think in the next 10 years, I'm going to be very conservative with this. I'm going to say in the next 10 years, we're going to find Planet 9. It's not Pluto, everybody.
Is the math pretty much there? Is
I-
all the
the
math
math-
is really
The
pretty
math
spot on?
is there. The math is there.
It's just the
I mean, you can
observation.
at this point. Okay, so if Planet 9 is what is his name?
Mike Brown
Mike Brown. Mike Brown.
of Pluto contention.
Yes. Isn't isn't his like Twitter Pluto killer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So
Well played, Mike Brown.
Mike Brown is an astronomer, and he really is the one who Tyson would like to take credit
Yeah,
for
but it's
demoting Pluto.
Mike
It's really Mike Brown. Mike Brown found an object that time we thought was bigger than Pluto. Turns out it's smaller, but it actually sparked the conversation, the
Like,
debate,
wait a minute.
the debate of what is a planet.
We don't actually have a definition of a planet
We don't
yet.
have a
Maybe we
definition.
should now make one now that our viewing capabilities are getting better and we're finding more
Yes.
things that are planet-like, but maybe not quite all like planets.
Right. And so Tyson comes into the story when at the American Museum of Natural History, at the Hayden Planetarium in New York, they make an exhibit that shows the planets. He leaves Pluto off because
How many people lost their
they lost their shit. And
Children were
but-
screaming.
But it was in response to what Mike Brown had found. It was not that
It was
Mike.
like, oh,
It was not that Neil
new
deGrasse
research.
Tyson.
Here's the new research. Here's the updated.
Right. It was not that Neil deGrasse Tyson said that we're not going to have Pluto as a planet
Yeah.
anymore. This is my personal decision. No, this was he actually based it on science.
Yeah.
Way to go, Neil! But Neil deGrasse Tyson did not kill Pluto. Mike Brown did.
Yeah.
So Mike Brown has been looking at all these objects that are really far out in our solar system. He's looking at their orbits. He's looking how orbits of some things are distorted, and the only way that you can distort these and you can have these really far objects out have the orbits they have is that there is an object out there called Planet 9 now, ironically, from Mike Brown. And it is, I want to say, the size of Neptune or Uranus. So it's a big guy. And the math is there.
Check out our shot with Cosmos on Le Perrier Verrier. And
Le Verrier.
which is basically how that Neptune was discovered was that Uranus, there was some, it wasn't in the right spot where it was supposed to be. There was something pulling on it, causing drag.
Yeah,
and so they did the math, and then they pointed the telescope, and they were like, oh shit, there's a blue dot up there.
Yeah, so Neptune was discovered with math and not
using your eyes.
Yeah.
Not observationally.
It was proven with math, verified with
eyes.
Yeah, and which is not how it's always worked.
Oh, but it worked for proving that the sun was at the center of the solar system when Galileo verified with his eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the math came later. Just kidding.
Well, no, yeah, the math came later. Well,
that ruins the whole comparison.
Right, true.
Anyway. What were we talking about before we got on a thing about Planet 9?
I don't know, but Planet 9. Oh, I mean, I don't know. Astrology is going to have to account for all of these things. And, they're slick.
Well,
I'm going to be honest, they're slick in that they can then, change everything up and go, hey, okay.
1864. I don't know. I'm making that up, but it sounds around about right.
It is in the 1800s. Neptune was discovered
when
in the 1800s.
When did they see Neptune, my mom asks.
In the 1800s. I don't know. Here, you can look it up on your phone.
Anyway, it's fine. You can look it up on your phone, Mom.
Oh, I was telling you.
I know, and I'm...
You're delegating?
Delegating. Because I'm busy right now.
And the thing, I think your coworker, I think you should... Somebody needs to ask them. These are smart people. Your coworker is not...
Like I said, I don't think... They just want to believe it because it's fun and it's nice and it makes them feel good. So, but the thing is, the astrology people, they're not really harming anything. They're not causing...
No, but they are.
Textbooks to be changed and, religion to be... it's not like...
No,
it's not like other things that people believe in.
Right. The problem
it's not a
is
religion.
okay, all right. The problem is society takes it. There's a segment of society that takes it as true.
Yeah, but they don't use it for anything.
No, but these are the same people that are quick to say vaccines.
Okay, that's fair.
Vaccines lead to autism. It's a
lack of critical thinking skills.
It is a lack
usage
of critical thinking skills.
It is the hangover, Mom. Welcome.
Yeah, so it does do damage.
Yeah.
It does do damage.
It promulgates the use of just blindly kind of just I'll believe what I want to believe and listen to what I want to listen to without actually considering and using thought to why the science should actually be paid attention to, and because climate change is a big example of people just not.
Yeah, and you mentioned cherry picking at some point, I think, with regards to astrology, but it might have been something else.
I don't remember, but I did say it.
Yeah, and the people who believe that climate change is not real are all about cherry picking data. I mean, that's the only way in which they can make their argument is to cherry pick the data.
It really gives cherry picking a bad name.
I know, all these
cherries are delicious.
Yeah, I have cherries in this drink. Thank you for the cherry pickers. But
they should call them butt pickers. They're just butt picking data. Because their data is shit.
Yeah, shit pickers. They're shit pickers.
But it's friendly for all, we can't.
But that gives shit pickers a bad name.
Well, if you can't tell, this is the hangover.
Anyway, the climate change people, deniers, the climate deniers, they cherry pick data where they say that, well, if you look at this particular atmospheric reading, the temperature has stayed constant, if not cooled, over the past few decades. Yeah, but it's fucking warmed everywhere else.
Yeah.
It has warmed everywhere else. You are
It was
you.
like Imhoff with the snowball in the Senate room.
Yeah,
It
and
was
throwing
like,
it on the Senate
yeah,
on the
great.
Senate
You
floor.
have snow. There's still snow. It's
And
not. It's not weather.
it doesn't mean that the seasons exist, that they cease to exist.
We talked about this in the main episode. The tilt of the Earth causes the seasons. Tilt's not going anywhere anytime soon, and neither is the sun.
No, no, and so
It's just the extremity of those seasons, or lack of extremity of those seasons, depending on where you're located, that cause an issue.
right, and but this actually ties into why people believe what they believe with regards to
Authority.
well,
Oh.
well, yeah, also, but I said that it comes from authority figures. Maybe you misheard something, but either I thought this or I said it, but I know I thought it when I was letting Jack outside.
Okay.
In that you don't want it to interrupt or to contradict your worldview.
Yes.
And so Inhofe doesn't want it to interrupt or
Yes.
contradict his worldview because he is...
Earth is made for him.
What?
Earth is made for him.
Yes, because he is a devout Christian, and so the earth was made for him. But it's not also that. It is that God won't let this happen because Eden was a place that Adam and Eve were at, but the earth really is Eden for the universe.
Can you imagine an unpopulated Earth after it was cooled down from being a molten volcanic hellfest?
It still is. It still is a volcanic hellfest.
Not to the extent
Not
it was
to the
in like the
extent.
heavy bombardment period.
No. But I mean, it still is like that volcano that went off in Tonga in January.
Okay, well, I want you to stand on Maui's beach, right next to an active volcano on the island over, and be like, "Yes, this is a hellfest."
I mean, go to the Big Island. Yeah, it is a hellfest.
Okay, well, I said Maui. That's why I said Maui, not the Big Island.
Don't jinx it.
Anyway,
Don't jinx it.
I don't know what my point was.
I was talking.
Okay.
You keep talking over me. So Inhofe, he didn't want it to interrupt his worldview, and so that is why he takes the snowball.
It's a small iceberg. It wouldn't have sunk the Titanic.
Well, your mom said iceberg melting. So he takes the snowball and throws it on the Senate floor and says that climate change is not real. Because he doesn't want it. Because if climate change is real, that means that God is not taking care of Eden.
Question though. Also, yes, definitely. But also, how much money is he getting from big oil?
Oh, he's getting millions of dollars.
How much does he receive from those lobbyists?
Yeah, because he's easy picking. The thing is big oil, big Exxon has known that climate change has been existing for decades, but they don't want to lose the subsidies that the U.S. government gives them.
Yeah.
And you look at Inhofe and you go, easy picking. Well, we're gonna play into his religious views.
Greedy and religious.
Yeah, and we'll even buy him the cooler that brought the snowball into the Senate floor so he can pick it out and throw it on the floor. Meanwhile, if I were the people who cleaned up the Senate floor, I'd be like, motherfucker, you messed up my carpet.
If it was a snowball and it was July, I'd be like, all right, well done for that dramatics. It should not be snowing in July in D.C. But I'm assuming either snowballs were ripe for picking outside, or there was ice in a freezer somewhere.
Well, yeah, but I think it was the former. So the snow was outside the Capitol
where
grounds.
You could just go and be like, all right.
He's like, I can do this.
Jimmy, go get me a snowball.
Yeah, but also
about to go on the floor.
But also, James Inhofe is playing to the scientific ignorance of the people that listen to him.
And no one wants to be the cause of the death of the Earth or the death
No,
of the habitability of
Nobody
a
does.
lot of the species on Earth.
But the argument is that because there's snow, because it's cold in December, in January and February, climate change cannot be real. And that is stupidity. That is stupidity. Yeah. That is not an argument because the world still gets cold. And in the original podcast, we talked about seasons. You even did like the little teapot thing.
I was the tilt of the earth.
You were the tilt of the earth, but
I'm the axis.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout.
45 degrees. I tilt north and south.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. That's good.
And as I orbit.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's where I'm done.
I can tell you that in the next 2 weeks you'll come up with a song.
Maybe.
We'll dedicate the first half of the podcast to her singing the song.
The little tilt spot. Pot.
So your mom says they don't want to lose the idea of God.
Oh yeah, they gotta take. There's always a sense
exactly
not wanting to be accountable for.
However, though, why is it I know more about the Bible than these fuckers do?
Because because you actually read it and were like, this doesn't make sense.
Well, read parts of it. I cherry picked the Bible.
Oh.
But the Bible says that it's fucking in Genesis. It's like in the first chapter. God's creating the universe, and He gives man.
Yeah, we come from a rib. We're not there yet.
Dominion gives man dominion over the world, and so you are responsible for if you are not taking care of the world, and you're a Christian, you need to look in the mirror and go, I'm responsible for this. Because you have dominion over the plants, the animals, the oceans, everything, the birds, and they clearly don't believe it. They cherry pick it, and all they're worried about is who sleeps with who, and they're not even worried about shrimp anymore.
Well, have you had shrimp?
I have had shrimp. Didn't we have it last week?
Not? Yeah.
And we'll have it this week.
How did you not enjoy it?
Because shrimp is really good.
They're really good.
But, shellfish is an abomination.
I wonder what shellfish did somebody wrong who was in a position of power high enough to make it into the writings of the Bible?
They didn't cook it right.
They didn't. No, they left it out. They let it sit out for a bit.
They're like, they didn't devein the shrimp.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You gotta devein the shrimp.
You gotta devein the shrimp.
What are other shellfishes? Oh, clams.
Lobster.
Clams.
Yeah, I know a lot. No.
It was a lobster didn't offend anyone. If they had lobster, and butter, they'd be like shellfish for everybody. Also, figs. What did figs do to anybody?
Figs.
Figs. You can't have figs.
Why can't you have figs?
It's in the same sentence as the shellfish and polyester.
Oh, the mixed fibers.
Yeah, but
we all wear mixed fibers.
Figs are like fig Newtons before they're Newtons.
Yeah, but even like
they're pre-Newton figs.
Figs
aren't allowed. Figs aren't allowed in the Bible, according to the Bible.
What was his name?
Leviticus.
Nicodemus.
Leviticus.
No, I'm telling a story.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So Nicodemus climbed a fig tree to look at Jesus. Jesus came to give a talk.
So you can't eat figs because of that?
No, this was prior to that. I mean, if it's the Old Testament is all about telling you what you can and can't do.
Yeah, it's the rule book.
It's the rule book,
rule book.
But if figs are really bad, then why did Nicodemus climb the fig tree to take a look at Jesus?
I don't know. I just know you're not supposed to eat figs.
I'm a short guy.
Maybe the figs are sacred, like cows are in Hinduism. You can't eat the cows.
Yeah, but it's true. You know what? When I was at the airport in Mumbai at McDonald's, they didn't have. They
don't have cow.
They didn't have a hamburger option.
Or their hamburgers are made of something else, and it's not made of burger.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's true for really any McDonald's.
I mean, you know what? I actually almost, when I went to Winco, I almost got a little baggie of figs because I've never just had like a fig by itself, and so I thought about it. I didn't. Spoiler alert.
The same grandmother that sent me the, and if you listen to the original oh, I'm sorry, I'm playing with the thing. If you listen to the original podcast,
keep your feet inside the vehicle at all times.
But I just want to go. No, I can curl my toe onto the thing.
I had that carefully positioned.
Okay, but I just made it go like this. I didn't change the camera position. Anyway, my same grandmother who sent me the email about the probes and sending something to Jupiter.
Yes.
She had a fig tree that I would climb.
Oh.
It was my climbing tree.
I had a climbing tree as well.
And it had things on it, and I don't like.
Mine had acorns on it.
Oh, well, that's even a better tree to climb.
An oak tree.
Oak tree, yeah.
It's scratchy. It's a little scratchy, but it was really great climbing tree.
But it's bigger and it's stronger. It's got more heft to it. This fig tree, I can only climb it like if I couldn't climb it now, I would break all the limbs and fall down. And so it's not a good climbing tree. But I don't like or when I was a kid, I didn't like figs from the tree. But I loved going into my grandmother. I knew the secret little drawer.
Went to the cookie drawer.
The cookie drawer, and I always had fig Newtons in it.
Yes.
So yes. I always loved those.
Yes. Was it? I don't know if it was us, my mom, that we had the cookie jar. It was like a dog cookie jar, or if that was Papa. I don't know, but
a dog.
It was like one of those ceramic cookie jars with the dog head that popped up, and you get. And I would sneak in there, and get cookies all the time. I like the cookie jar. Why don't cookies jars? Why aren't they a thing anymore? I don't feel like I see cookie jars anywhere.
I don't know, but grandparents are the best.
Anyway,
they really are.
They are. Grandparents are great.
All right. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to call it.
I think so. I think we've run the gamut.
We've talked about
on misconceptions and then
I don't know.
Diverged.
Sure.
Divulged to dive. No, there was one that had human cookies in it, not dog cookies. This was like when I was a child. Katie knows. Katie remembers. We just don't remember where it was at. Anyway, we've just really
run the gamut.
We've gone over a lot of stuff and misconceptions and even our own misconceptions and on things, especially in the main episode. And
just remember, hummingbirds have feet.
They do. Dogs can look up. Dogs can look up.
Dogs can look up. Planets go in retrograde motion, all of them. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. And topic to be determined. Might be pride related, might not. We'll see what's in the news. We'll see what's going on.
Yeah, we'll see what we feel like. But join us and follow us on all. Did you already say this already?
On all the things.
At Drinking Cosmos, Cosmos the Cosmos. Check out The Shot with Cosmos the Cosmos every other Wednesday out on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Peace. We'll see you later. Cheers, everybody.
Bye, family.
And horses do look up. They do, right?
Horses,
they have to look up.
I mean, yeah, they look up. And
all right.
They look around. This is what they do. That's what
all right.
they do.
Run us out.
All right. Goodbye.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Peace out.